So the next thing we need to do is have this thumb in the foreground. You need to cut out this thumb so that we can place it on a layer in front, in the foreground. What's nice is that we have this blue screen, and I'll just go ahead and turn off the visibility of my screen so we can see it. So we can use the Keylight effect to remove this blue pretty easily, and what we'll be left with is everything that's not blue, which would be the thumb, the edges of the phone, and the background. So if I search my Keylight effect, this is what I want to use, but before I apply this, I want to actually duplicate my footage layer. So let me go to my Effect Controls panel, and this footage layer has Mocha on it. We don't want another copy of Mocha, so after I duplicate it, I'll delete that Mocha layer. So to duplicate, it's Control D, or I believe it's under, Edit, Duplicate. So now we've got two copies of our footage layer, and both of them have Mocha applied. So on this duplicate one, I'm going to delete the Mocha effect, and instead I'm going to apply the Keylight effect. So now we have one with Mocha and one with Keylight. The one with Keylight, I'm going to hit Enter and rename this to Thumb Roto, because we're cutting out, or not roto, technically we're keying it, so I'll say thumb key. And we want this thumb to appear on top of our screen, so I need to drag this layer on top of our screen track layer. And with the Keylight effect, right now it's looking for pure black, which we don't have in our image. So let's use this eyedropper tool right here and click on the blue color. And you'll see it's modified it a little bit, it's a little fuzzy, and we can tweak these Keylight settings, but let me go ahead and turn on my screen track layer, and we can see now that the thumb is on top, but we're also having a lot of noise issues here. So let's look at our thumb key, and the way you can isolate this layer is with this little dot right here. So now we're only looking at the thumb layer. And it looks black because it's actually transparent. So with this button right here, we can toggle our transparency grid, and that'll show us what's transparent. Because by default, After Effects just has a black background when something is transparent. So we want to get rid of all this noise here. And so that's in our Keylight settings. So let's go to our Keylight effect. Make sure you have your thumb key layer selected. Under Keylight, open up your screen matte, and let's adjust this clip black. And do it a little slowly. It might take a little bit of time to update. So I'll bring my clip black up to around 15, and I'll bring my clip white down to around 70 or so. It's still not looking great, so I'm going to refine this even further. And a helpful way to preview this is to change your view from final result to screen matte. And this is just showing us the transparency now, so we're more easily able to see all of the noise here. So I'm just going to play with these settings a little bit and see if I can refine this even more. So if I'm bringing up my clip black, that does a good job of removing all those white dots. So I'll bring that up to 50. And if I bring down my white, that's helping as well. And you'll see it'll flip it if your clip white goes below your clip black. It'll flip the image, which we don't want. So I'm going to keep my clip white around 60. We're still getting a little bit of noise, but let me play through this. And overall, that looks pretty good. I'm seeing a good amount of noise at the end here. let's see if there's anything I can do about that. Let me try raising this a little more. So I'll go ahead and change clip black to 60, clip white to 70. And I'll play through that again just to see how it looks. So another way we can refine this has the screen D spot, black and white. So let me turn each of these up to 10. And so that's done a good job of removing those spots. So we have a pretty clean mat here, and make sure to change your view back to final result right here. So now we're just looking at the thumb with transparency applied. So this is what's going to be in the foreground. So we're only going to be able to see what's underneath this layer where there's transparency. So if I unsolo this layer here, we'll show the rest of the layers underneath, and now we're seeing the screen track layer underneath our key. And so our thumb is nice and on top of it, and it's also gone and rounded out our corners here. You'll see if I turn off my key layer, these corners extend out beyond the edges of our blue screen. So now we have some really nice edges here, and I'll go ahead and play that through.